Hello and welcome to my review of the Genestealer Cults Kelemorph model from Games Workshop. Now this model will cost you £17.50, which falls in line with all of the other clamshell single pack miniatures in the Genestealer Cult range, with the exception of the Jackal Alphas, which is £22.50, but she does come in her own box rather than a clamshell. So that's about right. I mean, compared to the Death Guard single miniatures as well, they're typically £17.50 for the characters, so at least it shares that much with them. Please do put a comment below if you prefer this lighting. I'm using a combination of my lamp and the camera's lighting. This might be more beneficial for you. Anyway, what I wanted to do is just do a review of the Kelemorph, because he just came out a couple of weeks ago and he was available in a Kill Team box set last year, kind of early last year. So it's about time that he's available separately. I'm hoping that the Adeptus Mechanicus little Magos that also came in a Kill Team box set about that time also comes out separately, hoping separately alongside the Archaeopter and the the mech horses. I've forgotten their name, but the new stuff for the Adeptus Mechanicus, which I hope will be alongside the next Psychic Awakening book, Engine War. But who knows, we'll find out. Let's have a look at the miniature itself. A fair bit of detail. I was a big fan of this mini. I did say that I would cover every single Genestealer Cult release, and yes, a year later I finally kind of fulfilled that dream of getting every single new Genestealer Cult model release, which is fantastic. It comes in this kind of scenic base, got a bit of a broken pipe there and this broken pipe here. It's optional, you don't need to put this broken pipe on, you can just leave it with him on one of the pipes. Up to you. There is only one pose, there is only one head. It's a little bit disappointing in a way, but this is what his war gear comprises of, so you won't see him with like a dagger or a sword or anything like that. You will see him with these three pistols, and his rules reflect that. You've got this swaying cloak, you've got one of his holsters there, you do have a little cult blade hidden, and with this kind of bandero mask thing covering his face. He's got some rounds, very kind of Wild Wild West, I want to say, feel vibe to this model. Proper gunslinger, and lightly so, with packing three pistols, but a very close range kind of killer. So that is kind of the close-up. Let's have a look at some size comparisons with other Genestealer Cult models. I do have a Magos and a Patriarch. They are taller than him. He's not the tallest model by any means, and that's probably because of the pose. But that's how he compares to Magus, and then the Patriarch is, yeah, clearly a lot bigger. Hopefully that zooms in all right. So that's where he stands there. I suppose I could do a couple of other size comparisons next to a Nexus and a Clamavus as well. He's got the same size base, these 32mm bases, as the characters, even the Magos look. So he does look great with them if you're going to accompany him with any of the characters. Even the Icon Ward looks pretty good near him. And I think the aesthetic really fits in with the rest of the army, clearly, with the three arms and this kind of armour. He's just got a bit of a fancy cloak going on, and three pistols. Compared to Space Marines, we've got a couple of Space Marines here. Let's just move these out of the way. And we've got the Primaris on the right, as always, and the standard Space Marine on the left. If we have a little look there, he is a bit shorter than Space Marine, but he is kind of in this very crouched pose. Be interested to see if he was almost as tall as a normal Space Marine standing up. And then you've got a Primaris here, which, yeah, he does look a bit smaller than a Primaris, but again, that's most likely due to the pose. But that's how he measures up to other models in the range. So you don't get any spare parts for him, just make that clear. With some of the other characters you may get one or two spare parts, but not many at all. This is my part of the review where I will go through all of his rules in the brand new Genestealer Cult Codex, the 8th edition one that came out with lots of new and characters and things. You'll find him in the elite section along with the other characters. They're mainly power points cost of a 3, most of them. His points cost in match play is 60 points, making him actually the most expensive character, single character if you want to look at it that way. His stat line reads movement speed 6 inches, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 3, toughness 3, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 5+. That's quite a strong stat line, mainly because of that ballistic skill 2+. All of the other characters typically don't have that ballistic skill 2+, but some of them, like the Locus and the Sanctus actually, they do have either a weapon skill of 2+ or both in terms of the Sanctus. But both the Sanctus and Lotus have 1 extra attack. So Kelemorph is a single model armed with 3 Liberator auto stubs and a Cultist knife. We haven't really seen Liberator auto stubs before, but the profile is included in his unit profile. It's a range of 12 inch, it's a pistol 2, strength 4, AP -1 and a damage of 2. How does that compare to a normal auto pistol? Well, it's got 2 shots instead of 1, it's got a better strength 4, and it's got a better AP at -1, and it actually got 2 damage instead of 1, 2, and he is equipped with 3 of them. So you're looking at 6 shots there at 2 damage each. Pretty decent. He's got a Cultist knife, that works as usual. Strength of the user, which would be 3, AP 0, damage 1. But when the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon, so you've got 4 attacks there. Not going to be the best in close combat, but with those pistols, has a very decent chance at causing a lot of damage. Abilities: Cult Ambush and Unquestioning Loyalty. Gunslinger. This model can target enemy characters even if they are not the closest enemy unit. In addition, each time this model hits an enemy with a pistol weapon, it can immediately make 1 additional hit roll against that target using the same weapon. These bonus hit rolls cannot themselves generate any further hit rolls. That's very awesome. So each time the model hits an enemy with a pistol weapon, you get an extra hit. And with a ballistic skill of 2+, you've got a very high chance there of getting multiple hits there. So instead of pistol 6, you may well be outputting 12 shots that hit, and with a damage of 2, it's potential 24 damage just with this little guy. It's nice that you can target enemy characters even if they're not the closest. You're going to be quite close to enemies anyway with the 12-inch range pistols, and it might be the case that your enemy isn't going to leave their own characters unattended without some kind of bodyguard or high strength unit nearby. But with the Cult Ambush, that's going to make things a bit easier to get in there and target those characters. He's also got Heroic Deeds, Heroic Inspiration. If this model kills any enemy models with its ranged weapons, then until the end of the phase, reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by friendly cult infantry units whilst they are within 6 inches of this model. That's pretty awesome. So if he managed to kill any enemies with the pistols, then any rolls of a 1 within 6 inches of him, you can re-roll them. That's nice to have. If you know, it guarantees you're going to be hitting with more attacks. And then finally, preternatural senses. This model has a 5+ invulnerable save. Very decent, you know, 5+ normal, 5+ invulnerable. It works the same way as the Quicksilver dodge that the Locus has. He has a 5+ invulnerable save. And then the keywords: Caterians, Genestealer Cults, infantry character, Kelemorph. How you deal with him is from range if you can, even though he's a character, so snipe him out with your eliminators or whoever. If he's, you know, already on the board, that's a problem with Genestealer Cults, they can just pop up anywhere. Or through weight of fire. Again, if you can target him, he's got a toughness of 3. Yes, he's got a 5+ invulnerable, but he's only got the 4 wounds. Weight of fire will whittle him down, especially if you're using like heavy bolters or something that's, or even 24-inch range weapons. Try and outshoot him before he gets close enough, but it is a bit of a gamble. Anyway, I love the model, I love the rules. I think he's a I think it's very decent and a lot of fun to use in the games. Just this gunslinger alien Kelemorph creature that, you know, jumps out and starts causing havoc, shooting his pistols everywhere, has a potential of taking down characters and causing a lot of damage as well. I just like the premise of this unit. What do you guys think of the model and the rules? Please do put it in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For the Norn Queen.